again. This year has brought so many changes in our lives, both personally and professionally, and perhaps the most challenging one has been to work from home. In this session, Andrei Cretu will talk about productive freedom and how to remain competitive in the current landscape and keep up with the trends without having to totally change your company's strategy. With a background in management consulting and venture capital investment, Andrei is the co-founder of Pluria, an office-as-a-service startup that offers workspaces access for employees. He believes that being among the first companies to embrace the remote trend comes with great advantages, such as attracting the best talents and differentiating from competitors. Andrei, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Indeed, remote working is a hot topic right now. I think everybody to a certain degree is thinking of the current challenges and as well preparing for the future. Definitely, I think we are in for some surprises and definitely opportunities. Remote work is not a new trend. Definitely, we've been gradually adopting it, but it's been flying under the radar. And what pandemic did was really accelerating everything. And different surveys state that in about 5 years' time, almost up to a third of the white collars, one way or another, will work remote. And there are several companies, large technology companies that are already leading the way. They're not new things what I'm sharing right now, but some numbers to really allow us to grasp the implications of the remote work and what are the benefits. And people definitely are tired of commuting, do want an increase in number of options, do want to choose where they work from. And what we've seen, most likely having the option for a flexible environment will count when making a choice to what company should I work for. So in recruiting, flexibility of work is beginning to definitely be really important. However, most companies, and we've been talking only in Romania with at least 100 companies, definitely are now looking, how to build the future work policy. And for sure, they will include the office, although it might be repurposed and maybe slimmed down in terms of space. And for sure, working from home will also be part of the equation. But those two options as standalone definitely have some issues in terms of sustainability. So we cannot simply go back to how we used to work, Monday to Friday in the office building. But neither we will be able to continue working from home on the long term, again, Monday to Friday. So this binary thinking definitely is a weak construct. But in the same time, quite everybody, and these surveys targeted executives found both founders and CEOs, so both small and large companies, and almost everybody. So just you see here the little tiny segment below, 13% state that they will return to work as before. But whether they will go full remote or adopt a remote work or include remote work as part of the flexible working, definitely everybody is thinking how to add flexibility to the work arrangement, and this is where we see that we notice that we can bring our contribution, because definitely a future construct should be a flexible one. So not only include the traditional office that will not disappear. So we are not saying that offices will disappear. What we are saying is that most likely the typical week arrangement will consist in maybe one day to go to the office and align with my project team or with my department peers. A couple of days, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can work from home, no problem. But then I would have to include in my routine, or lack of routine actually, because a routine is a problem, other options. That can be a co-working space that is close to my house, or it can be I don't know, a lobby of a hotel or a hub that is downtown, and I can mix the work location with whatever things I want to do while in a certain place. So hybrid model is the trend, but not only office and home office. Our network. So how we plan to flexibilize the construct of companies' work policies is by giving access to a wide variety of alternative office spaces, and we're doing so by building a network of co-working spaces, cafes that are properly have a proper setup to work from, and business lounges, business centers from hotels. And yes, we've launched in parallel in Romania and Spain, but looking at other territories in the very near future. How it looks on a local level. So if we just zoom into Bucharest, you see that we target a good coverage and a good offer for the employees to find that perfect location for the day to work from. Proximity will definitely play a key role. So we estimate that hubs, co-working hubs that are placed near the residential areas will see an increase in traffic. How is this accessed? For me, the best way to describe our app is by using some well-known examples. So the Pluria app, I would say it's a blend of Uber and Airbnb. So Airbnb, why? Because you get to choose from a variety of spaces, but this time they are proper office spaces. So places where you can collaborate with others, or where you can focus for some deep work. But in the same time, it's as accessible as Uber is. So instead of pressing a button and hailing for a car, I'm tapping a button and I'm booking my work desk for the day, for today or for tomorrow. So really simple. And I'm talking both about individual desks as well as meeting rooms and private offices. At the same time, let's not forget that we are seeing the company as our client. So it's a B2B product. So we have in place functionalities dedicated for company representatives, like, for example, the live heat map present in the dedicated web account of companies, where we can see, the live distribution of the workforce. So who works from what space at a given point in time, or as a report at the end of the month, what were the popular spots for my team? Where do they like to work? How often did they switch? So have clear visibility and control. That's what the platform delivers. But in the same time, really give freedom to the people and let them choose, even if they want to choose every day for a different location, allow them to do so. The benefits, I mean, they are clear for the people. People don't like the employees don't like to commute anymore. They want to be able to find a spot either to meet their colleagues or a client, or to just focus, run away from home. Maybe I have, I don't know, the kids are at home for the day, or I have somebody over. I cannot focus in my home office. I need to take out the app and just book a desk at the hub nearby. So this kind of experience really makes Pluria a perk, a benefit for the employees. But in the same time, as a company solution, it provides not only cost reduction versus a traditional setup, but most importantly, flexibility. And we are noticing, extremely agile companies that are going like crazy, even in the current context, and they attribute a lot of their growth to being remote-first organizations. Because if I want to hire 100 people, or I want to downsize my organization, basically what we offer is an office as a service. It's like a SaaS. So we activate or deactivate 100 accounts. I don't get stuck with rent and a big office space, and then I simply don't have enough flexibility. And this is maybe at the essence of what we offer. And yeah, basically we can definitely fine tune our offering on the requirements of each company. So we can have a subscription model where, for example, employees have maybe 1 or 2 or even 5 days per week the option to use our network, or we have the on-demand offer, which is really like Uber. So I'm just paying as I use the service. Is the easiest way for me to compare. So no commitments. If my team does not use the network, the offices for the month, there is 0 cost on the monthly invoice. But in the same time, it allows them. It functions like a backup solutions for those days where you simply cannot find the good spot to work from. All those findings, actually much more findings that what I had the time to go through. I really recommend to download. They are packed into a white paper that we have just released a few days ago. And you can find those on our website, pluria.co. So not com, but co as in collaboration or co-working, /white paper. This is definitely, it's a lot of valuable insights, not only on our offering, but we need to acknowledge that it's definitely a big wave, what we are witnessing right now. It's a huge trend. And the early adopters, and I'm talking here about companies, the companies that recognize that there's a big shift in how people want to work, have the chance to turn this challenge, because it is a challenge currently, but have a chance to turn it into an opportunity and strengthen their employer brand and have access to better talent across everywhere, not restricted to their proximity of their offices and so on. It just builds like a virtuous cycle, but it's important at first to really digest the situation and the trends that are going on, and to build a solution on top of that.
Yes, thank you very much, Andrei. I couldn't agree more that things are definitely changing, especially in the working arrangements. So what I'm thinking is that your business model is actually quite disruptive for the market. So what would be the barriers for the companies from what you have experienced already with talking to so many companies? What would be the barriers and how could they overcome them?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's a barrier in the current context. So of course, those weeks with the second wave of the pandemics, people are more reluctant. They tend to say, okay, let's wait to see how this plays out. But in reality, is just delaying in acceptance of the reality, because nothing will change. The more our teams and the employees are away from the standard office, the more they become aware that this is not the proper way to go forward, and the more they will ask for flexible arrangements. And there are not many objections, because clearly we offer cost efficient and the very flexible solutions that can be, it's like it can really be customized and fine-tuned even 1 month to the other. So but maybe what I in response to your question, we don't have real objections, but we do have some in some cases delayed process that comes with coping with reality and really gathering all the insights. And here I'm talking about bigger companies, because small companies, startups are on board really fast. They notice, okay, especially since if they are used from working from co-working spaces. With us, it's you get much more flexibility and you get to access a bunch more locations. But for companies, each large enterprise is different. So they need some time to really gather all their insights from the local offices across the country, alignment with the head office, see what the region is doing, see what the peers is doing, see what the competition is doing. So they do tend to process a lot and really think through this process. And I do understand, because it's definitely a big decision with heavy implications. But we are the context basically is pushing us in that way. The worst thing a company can do is simply assume that once this will be over, we can go. Everybody can go back Monday to Friday, same setup, and that would be the only big mistake. Otherwise, there are different solutions to this problem.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for the big enterprises, it's actually exactly as you said. It's a big process of analysis. Probably most of them have already lease rent for a couple of years. Maybe just still running, and they really need to get their head around it and see how they can in the end optimize their cost, but also offer the benefit to the employees, because eventually I've been working from home since March. So and when we are really thinking of going back to work, yes, we would love to engage with our peers, but there are obvious benefits for not going to the office. So yeah, probably it's just a matter of time, as you are saying. Let's see more questions. 1 second. Can you talk a little bit about how and why companies from various industries react differently to this remote working approach?
Mm-hmm. I think it impacted everybody equally, and to a certain extent, I need to say that mostly we are talking here about white collar companies from different industries. Of course, when the job implies that you need to be on site, then that's completely different. But for companies, irrespective of industry, where it is possible to do your work from a location other than your head office, this is where there's lots of shifts and where things are shaping up. I see companies. So the speed of reaction and how companies cope with the change and how fast they want to go forward and design a solution for the near future, that doesn't really relates to the industry, but rather to its innate agility. So irrespective of industry, I can take one industry and you will see some reactions. Some fast-moving players that think of it. Oh, instead of me thinking that's a problem, why don't I elevate this flexibility as at the level of a perk or a benefit core to the to the mission of the company. And I promote it in such a way that I reap the benefits. So I attract better talent, and I just spiral things forward in a positive manner. And the thing is that guess what? Who are those companies going to steal the? Here's my son. Who are those companies going to steal the employees from? Obviously from their peers, from competitors that failed to react and just played it passive and just let's see how it plays out, and let's see if people will want to return. We'll return. We'll see how.
It's really nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's definitely a big help for me. So there's definitely a reverse of this of being proactive, in the sense that if we don't react, we will end up on the losing side, and that's definitely something to be avoided.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. There would be one more thing. If you were to recommend some do's and don'ts when it comes to remote working for companies, I mean, what should they do or shouldn't they do? How would it be the best approach?
It's impossible for me to come up with a framework and say this is the solution, this is the silver bullet, because there isn't such a way. Even if I have a direct interest, right? Because Pluria obviously wants to have as many customers as possible, but we cannot afford, and it will be really silly for us to state that we are the magic solution to this remote work challenging that companies are trying to solve. So following this logic, I don't have any really crisp recommendation other than maybe designing a pilot phase, because definitely a big no is being passive, not taking any action, not thinking things through. So probably it all comes down to as my biggest recommendation, to take small steps. Do a pilot for 3 months. See how it plays out. Say that we are trying to be not a remote only company, maybe not even only a remote first company, but a partially remote company, and see how people react. And my hypothesis, and I've seen that with companies that did this switch, not now in the pandemics, but in the past. There's so many opportunities and positive things happening that you cannot even imagine without taking a bit of a leap of faith, just the first step.
You only find them out after you've tried and get the feedback on it.
And I would only here mention one indirect benefit of that. You know how big companies always talk about innovation, which is fine. So they want to spark innovation from within. But that's not something that the leadership puts on the slide and okay, from tomorrow we will be all more creative and we will innovate and we will drive full digitalization of our services and so on. No, that comes with trust, trusting your employees, giving them responsibility and the proper context for them to innovate. And what happens when you leave your employees to work and intersect with people from an entrepreneurial background? What happens when if you leave your employees as a big corporation to work for 2 days a week at their choice from one of the co-working spaces around town? Well, obviously, first thing that comes to mind is, okay, I'm just giving them less commute time and it sounds like a cool perk. But in reality, you're giving them the opportunity to interact with like-minded individuals, entrepreneurs, freelancers from all sectors and all sides of the economy, of the entrepreneurial sector. And that's how innovation sparks, because innovation sparks at the periphery of things, and it starts with giving the employees the option.
So I really like this idea with innovation. Yeah, it's really good, and it's an open question mark for everybody. So Andrei, we will wrap it up. Thank you very much for this talk. It's been really interesting. Wish you all the best. Thank you everybody for watching this, and we'll see you at the next session. Thank you
for the invitation. Bye.
Bye.